I by and large don't try to.
It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the person.
Yeah, we usually say that we go to a church that is kind of in the inner city of Indianapolis, if you can call this the inner city, but I mean, for some people it is. If they come here, that's how they would describe it.
I try to make the distinction between, yes, we're a church like any other church in America, really. We have a very institutional form, but we're the farthest thing from that.
I'll tell them something like, well, you know how when you go to church, and I'll say, we're not like that. It's pretty much like, whatever you think it is, that's not what it is.
The quickest and easiest answer for me is to cite a 2013 Indy Star article that referred to Englewood as a Protestant parish on the Near East Side. That's one of the phrases that I think is alliterative and quick and kind of easy.
When walking to Englewood, something that I think people notice is that it's a group of people that would never be found in the same place, probably ever, under any other circumstances. But it's this love for this place and each other, and the love of what God is trying to teach us that has brought us together. And so it makes it for a really interesting group of people.
We have become a church that's got very conservative people. We also have very progressive people who take very progressive positions on any issue that you'd want to name. But those people have come to love each other and respect each other, and while we don't have big, giant, open dialogue, we have daily kinds of dialogue, and we have to work through the consequence of having divergent views.
We're just going to try to live the way that we believe Christians should live. Doesn't matter where you are, and doesn't matter under what circumstances you are. You're supposed to be trying to live the Christian way. So we just start doing that, and that's how the Hispanic group become a part of Englewood, cooperating with whatever we can, sharing our gifts.
But then also talk about all the ways that we share life together that maybe are not quite so typical, but yet very much in the vein of how we understand the gospel of Jesus to be.
Like, if you ever forget why we're doing what we're doing, it's because we're wanting to live and pattern our lives in the way Jesus did. Order ourselves socially so as to be the presence of Jesus here.
We're actually a real community, and that's what we aspire to be, is a real community. So we care about not only where we all live, but we care about where our neighbors live. And we care about having meaningful work. We care about our neighbors having meaningful work.
Englewood always has resisted the language of intentional community, but I think there's a lot of ways that Englewood is a community intentionally.
And so I tend to use words of, oh, I was visiting with a neighbor, or I was hanging out with a neighbor.
Like, somebody recently was like, you say the word neighbor so many times. Like, who are you? Like, and I'm like, yeah, because like neighbor means coworker and means my church people and means my friend. It's like, so I just use that word.
I love Englewood. They're my family.
Sometimes you go around and you'll see church parking lots empty throughout the week and only busy on Sundays, but here it's busy every single day. The parking lot is always full, there's always things going on.
When I think about when I first came to Englewood, and round one of the senior apartments were still under construction, and now we have 2 buildings and we've added a 3rd. And PR and Mallory was kind of a dream, and now there's a date for closing, and that there should be students there next fall. Makes me really excited for maybe what's 5 years down the road. The great thing about our neighborhood in the Near East Side are there are so many players involved that are connected.
Englewood can be kind of a crazy place, but to me, that's what I love about it. So that's how I describe it to people, and they just look at you like you're kind of, they don't know what. But I love it, and that's the way I would describe it, because that's who we are.
Mostly I just say, like, it's a place where I know my neighbors and I don't lock my doors and I feel safe.
And yeah, we're just really trying to be a part of this place and be engaged and try to make a difference. It's usually what I say.
It's pretty hard to explain to somebody new, but I think if they give us enough time, not just a visit, but if they give us enough time to explain and to see how we do things, they can understand in a better way.
This place is really important to a lot of people, and when you talk to them and find out why, it becomes important to you too.
So I pretty much just tell people if they're curious about it, they need to hang around for a while and ask questions.
That's the best way. It's like, just come hang out with us for a few days. I love telling people about this house where it's like, there's a place that you can literally just come and crash and free of charge. This place like unlocks a lot for people.